tell us this, dude. You buried part of the story. This is your pay-per-view debut. What's going on in your head? What's going on in your head building up to that day, the day of, going into the match?
Well, so I found out about TNA. I almost missed my opportunity. I tried out for TNA with Good Time and Duke. We drove up to Bakersfield, and we did a TNA gut check. And Duke didn't get partnered up with the best people, so he didn't really get a chance to shine. And then they had like all of us. They let the baby faces pick the heels. Oh no, they let the heels pick the babies. And I was like, oh no. And I don't know if you guys know Damon Devine. He picked me, and I looked at Kevin Good Time, and he was just like, good luck. And so they were like, they told us you have 4 minutes to call a 4-minute match. And I was like, and I went over to Damon, and we were all hanging out all day, the whole crew. And this was like he said it was his third gut check. And I was like, damn, that's a lot of times to pay to try out. Because I paid. I got smartened up that they might need people in the summer. And it was a good idea. Like it'll be worth it. If you get picked, it'll definitely be worth it. So whatever. Me and Damon have this 4-minute match, and I put my foot down. I just told him what we were gonna do and how we were gonna do it. I didn't ask him. I told him. And after the whole thing, Good Times match was trash. He was really upset. And D'Lo was like, all right, I'm gonna talk to each of you. Johnny Yuma, come here. And I was like, oh man, he's talking to me first. And he was like, head and shoulders stand out. He's like, you stood out above everybody today by so much. And he was just like, I've seen Damon at 8 tryouts. And I was like, 8? And he said, and that was the first good match he's had at a single one of these. And he was like, you're going to be getting a call. And I was like, fuck yeah. So we stay, we go to Golden Corral. And then we go back and we watch the TNA show. And the funny thing about that quick one is some lady was so excited to see a certain TNA wrestler that she actually fainted and had to be like ambulanced out. This lady shaking the guardrail, losing her mind for the Pope, D'Angelo.
Hey, I get it.
The biggest Pope fan. She lost her mind. It was crazy. So we watched the show, whatever. We had a good time. It was a really fun experience. And me and Kevin are in Japan, and my phone was like not working at all. This was in June, like 3 months after the tryout. And eventually once we got to Osaka, I was able to post on Facebook, and I said, Tokyo was a blast. We love DDT. Just made it safe to Osaka. And Dave Lagana, the head of the NWA, and at the time head writer of TNA, replied to it and said, no wonder we can't get a hold of you. And so I was just like, what? I start freaking out in the airport, and Good Time's like, what is wrong with you? And I showed him, and he was like, I messaged Lagana, and he said, Al Snow's been trying to call you for a week. And I was like, I'm in Japan. I'm sorry, I'm in Japan. I'm not ignoring you guys. And he said, okay, well, the second you get back, give Al a call. So, I talked to Al, whatever, and he's like, yeah, we want to do this with you, and we want to keep you for the pay-per-view. You're not going to qualify, but you'll be in the last chance one, and day of, we'll figure out which one of you 4 moves on to the Ultimate X match or moves on in the tournament. And I was like, absolutely, yes, 100% yes. And then I was like, what am I going to wear? That was the first thing I said on the phone to him was, what am I going to wear? Like, get ready for a date. What am I going to wear? And he was like, I'm going to find out if we can use your name. He's like, do you own your name? And I said, no, I definitely don't. I stole it from the song. And he said, okay, let me figure it out. Next day he emails me. So I got back from Japan on the 26th of June, and I was going to be on TNA the following Thursday. So this was all happening really fast. And so he's like, send me a bunch of names, and we'll pick one, and we'll let you know as soon as we can. I was like, please let me know so I can get an outfit made. Because I was like, I'm going to make my own gear. Fuck it. I don't have time. I have to make it myself. So I sent him a bunch of names, and they didn't like any of them. So they combined two of them, and that's how the name Lars Only came about. And in that moment, I was like, "Are these guys fucking with me?" I was like, because what I had done is I had just taken a bunch of musician names that I liked and combined them with like other names. Like I had like a Travis Barker kind of one in there. My favorite one that was at the top of the list, and I put like stars next to it, was I wanted to be Sick Jagger. And they were just like, "Oh, like Sick? That's like nobody's name, dude." So they ended up picking Lars Only. I forget what they were paired with. I think it was Andy Only and Lars something. Whatever. They went with Lars Only. So I run out to friggin' Sports Chalet in Mission Valley, and I buy a couple pairs of girls volleyball shorts. And I get home and I just start sewing. I just start patching them up and putting the name Only on them.